Oh boy, another Steam Fest. A huge amount of demos to go and check out, especially if you're a survival fan. So I'm going to be picking out the best of the bunch today. Everything from space travel to Mad Max PvP and a bit of coziness too. There are just so many of these demos now available, it's even hard for me to really get time to cover them all. But the good news is that if they've got demos going, it looks likely they might be releasing relatively soon, at least hopefully in the next year. So let me know, out of the games that I'm showing you today, which one takes your fancy the most, what one do you want to see me cover, and are there any that I should have included? But as I said, these are just a pick of the most recent, newest ones that I haven't really tried before, or definitely hyped still about. Breathedge 2, of course, is a sequel, and it's very much still on that same remit of exploring space, gathering resources, and having to deal with a lot of chicken and maybe fart jokes. This time though, we'll be visiting planets and taking on all sorts of manner of creatures as we try and gather resources, build up technology to get through the story. Bit of a cult classic, absolutely doesn't gel with some people if they don't like certain parts of humour, and there is quite a lot of this kind of story and beats already present in the demo, which I gave a shot. Now the demo does have the very start of the game, I'm guessing, and it's very similar to the beginnings of the original. You will be just mooching around in zero space or gravity, trying to gather resources and investigating points of interest, trying to unlock new gear by crafting different tools to break into vending machines, toilets and more. Kind of wish they'd started off maybe with a demo exploring a planet this time. That would have really set the sequel apart. Because as it stands right now, it's definitely showing what you come to expect from the game for sure, but not necessarily anything brand new. It's going to be a single player game, lots of story content, but now with added companions that you'll be able to get quests with or maybe help you along the way. So maybe the demo does have the bits where you'll be able to upgrade and take a look at your spaceship that you'll be able to equip with new gear and expand over time. But yeah, it definitely felt like the demo could have done a bit more in showing some of that stuff. Otherwise it looked pretty nice, apart from me getting a bit of motion sickness playing it. Hopefully they've got some maybe steps or smoothing of that options. Let me know if you played the first one. Are you hyped for the sequel? Lost Skies is another one that I've managed to actually try out, but on my second channel. Go and check out Jade PG Crafted, see a good 25 minutes or so of me playing this one. It is another sort of sky island game where you'll be crafting and building your own airship, exploring islands in the sky, gathering resources. But this one's got a bit more of a sci-fi feel compared to other games like Aloft or something else I'm going to show you later, Solarpunk. It is made by the same people that made Worlds Adrift, a spiritual successor and hopefully something of a comeback for the studio that is seemingly in trouble. Having just announced another wave of layoffs that they've had to do, they're putting all their eggs in one basket with this game, the mixed traversal, puzzle elements, as you explore, gather resources, fight off against drones and a lot more. It's got potential as well. I think some parts of it are laid out really well. I do worry though that just the grind of getting certain small pieces of resources or crafting bullets and stuff just might not be as engaging long term, but I definitely need to try out the airship stuff. So definitely go and check out the video. I'll leave the link to it in the comment section down below, and you should see part 2 of me actually seeing what the airship building's all about. But it's really cool having the glider and the ability to use your grab hook to get around. Definitely a cool, outstanding feature. I don't think it will be too long before this game actually launches. There are some big key differences from Worlds Adrift though. It won't be a big MMO. Instead, you and up to 8 other players can join you pretty much on your servers, or hopefully have dedicated ones set up, and there won't be necessarily any PvP unless you choose maybe friendly fire. The demo did have quite a detailed little walkthrough to explain and show you what exactly you should be doing, unlocking different technology like the grapple as you progress, and yeah, as I said, eventually you should get to the point you'll be able to try out the airship too. That is probably going to make or break whether or not you see me really cover the game, how fun and interesting that part of it is. As according to the trailer, you'll be fighting off the Leviathans, having airship battles with enemies, really hoping it really delivers on its promise. From one sky game to another, Solarpunk is a sky island exploration game. This one's a lot more chill though. You'll be gathering resources, building up a cozy farmstead, piloting an airship as you explore, gather resources and build a nice little home for yourself in the sky. It is going to offer co-op for you and your friends to join to build coziness together as you plant lots of seeds and grow all your crops. It's going to have some sort of automation elements to it. I was quite pleased to see a little bit more depth to the actual game when I tried it out. Another one, I've actually done a detailed gameplay video on my Jade PG Crafted channel, pretty much the home of more laid back survival games. And this certainly is. I'm really keen though to dive deeper into the mechanics of the kind of solar energy, how we'll power up our farms using windmills and more. The world's pleasing on the eye for sure, but I hope there's going to be real reasons to explore. Definitely showed a couple points of interest that could be cool, but I don't think there's more than just that. Maybe exploring one place. All the other islands seem to be locked off by force fields for now, but yeah, I'd expect this game to maybe release by the end of the year. Another one that I showed off on my other channel a while ago now though, this is probably the second time it's been in the Steam Fest or it's had a demo running this whole time. This is Survival Machine, a zombie defense apocalyptic survival game where you'll gather resources as your machine just carries on going. Pretty much you'll be upgrading it, building your bases and unlocking all new gear to fight off waves of zombies that attack you pretty much on a nightly or sometimes during the day. There'll be rare loot to find, maybe schematics for more advanced gear, and hopefully yes, you won't get your face eaten by some of them zombos as you explore. I thought this was okay. It definitely needed a lot more work though. It felt a little bit janky in a lot of parts. It does use some of them packs that I'm not a huge fan of, and kind of polygon characters that I've seen in a billion other games. And it was very grindy, but the potential is there if you and your friends want to build up a massive machine and hopefully trample a bunch of zombies, then this might be something for you to try out. And yeah, it does look like this demo now adds the ability to play with your friends, so it'd be cool to see how it is with some other people. No firm release date as of yet, but again, if they're testing and getting these features out, I would expect this to be released at the summertime. Doloc Town could be something a bit different. It's a 2D survival crafting game where you explore like Metroidvania areas, go and talk to NPCs as you get new loot, new gear, and then hopefully build up your own farmstead. The real catch is what you can do with drones and technology. You don't necessarily get involved in deep combat yourself, instead you'll craft a drone that protects you and you can upgrade it, I do believe, as you progress. That was the premise anyway, at least when I first took a look at this game a while ago. Since then, the latest reveal trailer shows a bunch more stuff off, including using a variety of different vehicles like boats and airships to get around. And honestly, I love stuff like this, hence why I did set up another channel to show maybe the different side of survival than regular just first or third person kind of hardcore games. A single player experience, no firm release date as of yet, but I would say given they've got this demo and the state of it right now, looks like it won't be too far away. And the last of games I'm plugging for my other channel, because you know I've got to split it this way, as some survival games really don't gel with others, but this is Castlecraft. It's more of a tower defense game to be honest, but I do like the look of it, and it's got a brand new demo available now too. So you will be gathering resources, maybe setting some of the villagers to help you in that, and then build up your defences against waves of attacks from maybe otherworldly enemies. Key difference here is that you will be able to go along as a hero player and basically help out your people defend. It's all very blocky and cute, and I just like the idea of maybe having a bit more of a strategy to it. Minecraft Legends ended up being a bit of a letdown. This seems to actually have proper base defense parts to it, which I like the look of, setting up your trebuchets, big fat walls, and lots of other cool traps. So yeah, I'm going to hopefully get time to check this out in the coming days, and you'll see a video on my JPG Crafted, and that's it, that's the last plug. But hey, at least I'm not trying to shill you Raid Shadow Legends, right? Oh, and this is coming out on March 24th. Okay, now we're back to what you guys would expect, maybe something a bit darker, maybe more mature, and maybe a bit more hardcore. This is Railgods of Hysteria, a definitely Cthulhu kind of inspired survival game, top down, where you look at your character running around and you build and upgrade your ship that is pretty much powered by a massive demon with tentacles. You'll be making pit stops, exploring locations, gathering resources and loot, and maybe feeding your demon alligators. Co-op 1 to 5 players, it's got a whole ton of crafting and exploration and that good mix of combat, which I'm kind of looking forward to. I did say I might not have time to check this one out, but you know what, the more I'm looking at it, the more I'm going to try it and see if I can get a video out in the next couple of days. It does seem to be blending like survival as well as action RPG, old school style ones, so yeah, if you can really gel all that together, it could be an interesting take. No firm release date other than 2025, but again, I wouldn't expect to see it too long before this releases, probably by the summertime. Another creepy spooky one and another sequel. This is Chernobylite 2. Yes, that other cult classic that is obviously giving people some vibes of Stalker, but I would say this is definitely a bit more weird. The first game's focus was on upgrading your camp and unlocking new NPCs to maybe give you upgrades and new equipment as you explore the dead zone of course, Chernobylite. And the sequel's no different. It does look like we'll be venturing back in, but maybe more parallel dimensions or even more outworldly locations. It is going to be a survival RPG style, and it looks like some of the dev posts I've seen really leaning into that RPG nature. They just released the first one on the Switch and it's been released on the other consoles a good while now too. It's a moderate success. And you won't be waiting long to try out the full game. It's going to be coming out on the 6th of March, so just under 10 days to go. Let me know in the comments if you want to see me tackle this properly with some guides and some gameplay. Next up is more of an outlier wildcard. This literally just appeared as part of the listings when I checked out some of the ones that I might have missed. It's called Harbour and it's basically Mad Max versus Rust. Yes, you'll be able to go ahead and ride a Mad Max style car and bike through the wastelands, gathering resources and fighting off against other players, with only one safe spot being maybe the harbour to go ahead and upgrade or buy new gear. And it does seem to have all the hallmarks of every other kind of game that you've seen like this over the years: base building, raiding, PvP. I'm not sure it really constitutes as one of my top 10 most anticipated, but at least it is a PvP style game, which is a few and far between of anyone really trying to take on the might of Rust, DayZ and Ark. So will it be any good? Probably not, I ain't gonna lie, but at least it's something new and fresh. It's kind of come out of nowhere, but there is a demo for it, so why not? It might surprise me, it might surprise you, and I do like the idea of a more Mad Max style survival game. And finishing off with a shout to Warp Space, a rat bag that's been in my community a long time, making their own game. It's of course called Warp Space, and effectively it is Subnautica set in space. Now I know we've had this before with games like Astrometica, and by the looks of this it does look maybe a little bit more, I would say, early development, or certainly from someone that's still learning their trade. But it could have potential. It does seem to have a bit more detail and simulation effects with it, especially when you take a look at the UI and some of the stuff that it's showing. You'll be able to go ahead and pilot your own ship as you explore various different interesting points in space, fighting off against maybe potentially drones and more dangerous things, mining asteroids, and yeah, trying to upgrade and build your ship. It is going to be a single player game, and for sure it could have potential. So I'm going to try and see if I can find some time to give it a shot, if not now, very soon. I do like the elements of the UI, like I said, especially in the ship, if it actually is functional and the stuff that you can control and upgrade and see the actual impact of that on your dials and interfaces as you play. Utilising the ship to go ahead and mine as well, that seems pretty cool, with a unique lo-fi art style. So there we go, Ratbags. If there's any other games I should have kept on this list, let me know, and I'll see you for more news about upcoming survival soon.